There's a place in the woods called Aspen Ridge, and we're lucky enough to call this place our home. We're the Popple people. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're not new, welcome back. In this episode, we're doing a brutally honest review of this 5-person SUV tent. Now, I'm going to begin by saying we have very low expectations for this. Online, these types of tents are usually priced at several hundred US dollars, and prices go up from there. You can spend a lot on one of these SUV tents. I stumbled across this one clearanced out at Bed Bath & Beyond for around 122 US dollars, and then I found a 20% off coupon on top of that. So this ended up costing around 109 US dollars. And for that price, add to cart. I had to have it. So we're going to give it a try here. Now, I also want to mention there were no reviews online for this particular SUV tent, nor were there any sort of name brands listed. It was super generic and a little bit sketchy, and that had me worried. I like to scope out online reviews and do a lot of research before I buy, well, pretty much anything. But for the price, which was half the cost of what the ones on Amazon were selling for, and a lot of those videos did not have favorable reviews. So we decided to take a gamble on this particular one. Let's start with dimensions. The packed up size for everything stuffed into the carry bag is about 32 inches long by about 12 inches wide by about 12 inches tall. And the good news is everything fits back in this bag just fine, as long as you do a reasonable job of folding up the main tent. We've seen some tents that once they leave their bag, they are never fitting back into it. This bag is amply sized for its contents, so a definite pro. Now, the other thing that we had considered was camping out of this, like flying somewhere, renting an SUV or a minivan, and then using this SUV tent to camp out of. So if we ended up doing something like this, it would need to fit into a check bag for the airplane. So just to show you here that the carry bag is just a little bit longer than a standard size check bag suitcase. It's not much bigger. So that being said, I think if you took everything out and refolded it just slightly smaller, this could totally fit into a standard size check bag. Definite possibilities. So let's take a look at what's in the bag here. So the tent itself is just typical tent material. The description says it's 210T polyester Oxford with PU 2000 mm, which is a waterproof coating. It does say that it's water resistant. We'll see how it holds up in wet weather. Now, right out of the bag here, I'm impressed with the floor. This is not like a cheap tent where the floor is just the same material as the tent walls. This tent has almost a tarp-like material for the floor, which I actually wasn't expecting for this price. Also, it's well affixed to the tent, and so this is a pleasant surprise. In the product description, it says that the floor is made up of 110 gram PE, so whatever that is, it's like a tarp material. Next, we've got the outer rainfly, and that is made of the same material with the same waterproof coating that the tent had on it as well. Next, we've got a bunch of straps. There are 5 total. 2 of them are longer, and then there are 3 shorter ones. These are going to be used to affix the tent to the vehicle roof rack as well as the wheels. There are 3 aluminum poles. 2 of these are the same size and 1 is a little bit shorter. Now, one thing I really like about these poles is the fact that the joints where they snap together are smooth. There isn't like that weird knuckle you get on some tents that gets caught on everything and makes it much more difficult to slide the poles through the sleeves in the tent. I really like that these are smooth all the way through. They really do make a difference in these sliding through so nicely. Also, the little pockets that these poles go into in the tent, they're actually pretty sturdy. They're heavy duty and well stitched. For the price point, I actually wasn't expecting this quality. What a pleasant surprise. And finally, a little bag of stakes. There are 8 in here total, plus 4 what look like guy lines. So that is our contents, what's all in the bag. Now, if we take a peek at that big carry bag, there's actually setup instructions that are sewed into the bag itself. This is super handy. The instructions seem to be pretty simple and straight to the point, easy to follow, and I just really like that they're sewed in. You won't lose them that way. Oh, and I just noticed here on the back side, this is the instructions on how to fold it back up and put this tent away. So let's see how quick and easy this is to set up. Now, the description says that the whole package weighs about 13 pounds, which is just a hair under 6 kilograms, and it says dimensions are 96 by 96 inch square and 78.7 inches tall. This tent definitely has a quick and relatively easy setup, which is always a nice feature for any tent. It says that this tent is going to work for up to 5 people. I think that would be a little bit crowded, but for 2 adults, this is super spacious. Plenty of room in here. Also, Tater really likes the ceiling height. He likes that he can stand up fully in here and with plenty of room to spare. So you can definitely easily stand up and change clothes in here. So we actually set this up as the tent being our living space and then kept the bed in the back of the SUV, but you could totally fit a queen size air mattress in here, no problem. I think we're going to use this mostly though as a screen tent or a shade structure. A couple of chairs and a table plus your cooler will fit in here just fine. As I mentioned previously, there was no brand name or anything. This was just called a 5-person double layer SUV camping tent for outdoor travel. Nothing fancy there. It came in 2 color options, blue or brown. We have a blue SUV, so we opted for the blue one. It is made in China, like everything else these days. We really like all the windows. Every wall has either a window or a door, which gives you tons of options when you're setting up, as well as a lot of good ventilation and cross breeze. Also, this tent can be used as just a standalone tent even without the SUV, so that standalone capability is a really nice feature. You could easily leave this setup at a campground and go out for the day without needing to take the whole thing down, like some of the other SUV tents that we were looking at. That is a definite pro for this particular one. As for the tent quality itself, the screens have a fairly fine mesh, which should keep out even the tiniest of insects, and the seams appear to be well made and sturdy. Also, there's a nice little hook up here in the center of the ceiling, perfect for hanging a light. Another nice feature inside this tent is the fact that there are several of these little pockets for all your odds and ends. So it says that this is compatible with multiple different vehicles like SUVs, vans, crossovers, pretty much any vehicle with a lift gate in the back. We're going to be using this with a Ford Escape here, so let's see how difficult this is to attach to the vehicle. Once your vehicle's backed close enough, then you need to kind of fluff this fabric tunnel over the back end of the vehicle and pop the lift gate. Next, you'll be anchoring the tent to the vehicle with the straps. Now, we have a roof rack on here, so it's super easy to just strap onto that. And then the 2 longer straps will go on both rear tires. Now, these were just a little trickier to put on than the roof rack, but still pretty straightforward. Make sure you cinch them up. Perfect. Now this fabric tunnel has elastic sewn all around it, and this cinches the tent tight to your vehicle. It actually works surprisingly well. Everything, top, bottom, and sides, all looks really good. I don't think it'll be very easy for bugs to migrate in. I feel like we're going to let more mosquitoes in just like opening and closing the tent door, so this is great. A few minor adjustments here and we're all set. So bottom line here, gosh, we're just really pleasantly surprised by this cheap SUV tent. Some of our favorite features are the fact that it's quick and easy to set up. It gets good ventilation from all the windows. It can be used as a standalone tent even without the vehicle attached. And surprisingly, it has a heavy-duty tarp floor. All around, we're really happy with this setup, especially for the just over $100 price tag that we paid for it. If you'd like to get a hold of us with questions or comments, please email us at thepopplepeople, all one word, @gmail.com, or you can plop a comment below. We love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. And if you'd like to subscribe to our channel, tap that colorful circle. That way, you can be a Popple People too. We'll see you soon.